TikTok for business? What? It's time to rethink how you market on social media. Let's go. Today, Alex Hitt is going to be presenting TikTok for your business, and it's pretty cool stuff. So for those of you that are social media adverse, this might be something that would be contentious. If you're TikTok adverse and there's some politics in there around what they do with your information, he's going to address a little bit of that. I think by the end of it, you guys are going to be pretty comfortable with the idea of what it can do, and then you'll probably want to engage with him about all your questions, concerns, suggestions. Without further ado, then we're going to go ahead and introduce Alex Hitt. Next week, he's going to be on the Alpha team, and he is your TikTok for business guy. Alex, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and then jump into the presentation?
Yeah, thanks so much, Mark, and appreciate the opportunity. Really awesome to be able to talk to everybody here. Background is international hotel manager, got laid off because of the pandemic, became a real estate agent with no experience in the industry in 2021. I ended up selling $3 million of real estate here in Hawaii with complete strangers that I met on social media. I never paid for an advertisement. And TikTok's a big part of that. So what I wanted to do today was, because I know most of you are like, TikTok, like what? I've never been on TikTok. You probably have never downloaded it. You don't have it on your phone. Maybe you did, but you really don't have any idea. So that's what we're gonna go over today. I'm happy to take questions here at the end. So how much time do we have again, Mark?
About 30 minutes. You can go ahead and
30 minutes, that's right. Cool. All right, so we'll hop into it here. So you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right, so TikTok, right? TikTok. What is it? Really, if I was to demystify it for you, it's short form video on your phone. That's what it is. You hear a lot of things in the news, you hear a lot of things on really it's just it's not so scary, it's just short form video on your phone. And TikTok is the most downloaded app of the last 3 years. It's been downloaded over 1 billion times. At the end of this year, it'll be 1.5 billion times. And I'm happy Danny's in this group too, because you see Instagram right there with it, right? Instagram and TikTok, those are the most downloaded platforms in the entire world. So, we should probably be using them for our business, right? And why? Why is TikTok the most downloaded platform in the entire world? Well, it really has flipped social media on its head. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, it really focuses more on connecting you with people, basically connecting with you with people that you know or that you subscribe to. TikTok, it's the exact opposite. TikTok sends you content. TikTok sends, basically it's an entertainment app more so than a social media app. Okay, so they're sending out entertaining content more so than content that is necessarily local and relevant to you. And they focus more on consumption than connection. So consuming a lot, because the more content you consume, the longer you spend on the app, the more advertisement they can send you eventually, right? So they're really focusing on consumption. And the number one metric to understand how they're sending out these videos, what videos are getting distributed on TikTok? Because it's not the videos of your friends or the people that you're connected with. It's other videos, right? It's videos from other people. And the number one metric that they use is something called retention time, which is the completion rate of a video. So if you have a 30-second long video and 100% of the audience watches all 30 seconds, well, TikTok's gonna continue to send that video out because it's keeping people on the app. So when you have a high retention time, it keeps people on the app, it keeps them watching more and more videos. Let's say you were on TikTok and you never completed a video, in the first couple of seconds you're swiping off a video, well, that's not a very enjoyable user experience. You would probably get off the app. So their goal is to keep people watching full videos in repetition for as long as possible. And so the videos must not only capture people's attention, but they must also retain it. It's very important. And here's actually some metrics. You can actually see the retention time on your specific video. So you'll see here, you you could call this the retention curve. Okay, so the video on the left-hand side has 1 million views. It's a video of mine. It has 1 million views. Okay, and the video on the left only has 1,000 views. And if we look at that retention curve, you can kind of analyze why. And it comes down to the percentage. So if you look about halfway through this video on the left, I've retained 50% of my audience by second 15. And on the left or on the right-hand side, I've only retained about 33% of my audience at second 15. I have a steep drop off in my audience right away.
Hey,
so I didn't
Alex,
capture their attention. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask the room something. In your lifetime, this is for everybody here. Anybody raise your hand. How many of you have reached 1 million people that you've communicated with? In your lifetime? Danny,
Yeah.
The only one. Is that 2 million or is that you've done it?
I've reached, through Instagram, like all my posts combined, I've reached 1 million people, yes.
Okay, so one person in this room, let's level set this for everyone. How many people do you talk to in a day? Let's say 10 if it's a good day, right? Level set that. Think about what just happened there. He has one video that reached 1 million people with a message, whether it's how to make a bouquet of flowers or this is what I have for sale, it's still 1 million people. Do you guys understand the impact of what he's talking about with one video? I want to see some head nods or something. For free, right?
For free.
Start to think about this in terms of what the impact is on your audience. It's very, very important that you level set this. One post on LinkedIn, you might be lucky to reach 1,000 impressions.
Yeah.
You reach 1 million people as a realtor in Hawaii that never done real estate before. Like, think about that.
Okay, I don't want to be the contrarian, but I have to throw this out there, that in the marketing realm, Alex, you're reaching 1 million people. Let's say that if 1%, just 1% actually like are not bots or are real engaged people, you're reaching 1% of those people. Whereas like mine is a little more focused and I'm reaching only 1,000 people with my posts. So the question is, if you're reaching 1% of 1 million versus 1% of 1,000 and it's targeted, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a great question, Rafi. So getting back to retention time, right? The only reason it got 1 million views is because it was relevant to the audience it was going out to. Because if it wasn't relevant to the audience, the retention time would be very low. They would be uninterested in it, right?
Go back to the infographic and show them this is a great conversation.
This is a perfect question because people say 1 million views. Well, so what? Is that even my target audience? Well, if it wasn't my target audience, I would lose their interest level like on the right-hand side and they would drop off immediately and that video wouldn't perform very well. As opposed to this video on the left-hand side, which got 1 million views, which I've retained 50% of my audience even at 15 seconds. So you could say 500,000 people watched a full 15 seconds of the video and it was relevant and interesting to them.
Does that make
you don't have to worry. And I'm gonna get into this of how that works. Yeah, but Mark was gonna say, does that make sense? That if this video wasn't relevant to the audience, they would just stop watching and the retention time would sink and the video wouldn't perform.
Does that make sense, Rob? You see the point of reference?
Yeah. So let me. I was gonna wait for Q&A, but this is so relevant right now. Yes, you've got amazing retention, but I'm hoping, Alex, that you're going to get into retention versus conversion. Like, what are you selling? What are you promoting? And yes, it's a relevant audience. And are they buying and converting? That's where I'm going with this conversation. Please continue.
So Neil had a question too. Sorry, I don't mean to stop you in the middle of it. Neil, go ahead.
Sure. So what is relevant? Is it going by hashtags? Is it going by buzzwords? Like, where does relevancy come from?
Yeah, so TikTok has the most sophisticated targeting algorithm out of any other social media platform. This is why it's so addicting. People say, oh my gosh, TikTok reads my mind. They know exactly what I want to see. So yes, hashtags are important. Keywords are important. SEO on TikTok, there's such thing as TikTok SEO. TikTok, actually 40% of young people use TikTok to look up local restaurants and local activities over Google. This is coming from a Google executive.
So is this like, typical Facebook or Google where whatever you searched in your phone, it's taking those words? Is that kind of what you're saying?
I'm not sure it's what you search in your phone. I think it's what happens on TikTok. Probably not.
This a little bit more into his presentation. Yeah. Some of this is going to be answered for you. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I appreciate the questions, really, and these are great questions. But I'll address some of these things in the presentation here. So let's continue. So we talked about retention time. And I just want to give an overview, again, demystify TikTok and show you, get you familiarized with what's happening here. So I'm on my profile screen here. On your profile screen, you can edit your profile. You'll see your different videos. Okay, you have your link. There's a link on your profile to your website. We'll talk about that in a minute. You can you can schedule events. So I have an event here on, tomorrow at noon that people can sign up and attend. And I can also attach my YouTube or Instagram profile right here on my profile. Okay, the next tab here at the bottom is the inbox. The inbox is where you get all your notifications. You can message people directly. You get new follower alerts. You can create a message. You can see people live streaming, and you can see people's stories. Stories are kind of like Instagram stories. They're short videos that disappear after 24 hours. That's on your inbox screen. Our next screen is actually brand new. It used to be called the Discover screen or the Friends screen, brand new. We're not going to talk about it a ton today, is our Now screen. And this is where all of our friends' content is. So our friends on TikTok are people that we follow them and they follow us back. Kind of like Facebook, right? When you friend somebody and they friend you back, you're now friends, okay? And up here at the top, you do have a search. So there's a little magnifying glass. And TikTok has a pretty sophisticated search, okay? So like we said, SEO, is really important on TikTok. Well, you can look up a lot of different things. And you can also filter the results. So I can do only posts that were posted yesterday and the ones that were the most liked, the most relevant. So there's a couple of different filters there. So you can find content that's a little, yeah. So, all right. There is also the Now tab. We're not gonna go over it today. We have the home screen here. So this is very important. This is what I wanted to talk about. We have something called the For You page. So when we talked about the targeting, 95% of people spend 95% of their time on the For You page. And everybody's For You page is different. It's designed and curated content for you. And they base the content that appears on the For You page based upon what you're searching for, what you like, what you engage with, what you watch, right? Retention time. They're tracking, what is this person actually watching? And then they're gonna send you more content like that. So let's say you were to go on TikTok and you look up dog videos. Well, TikTok's gonna be like, oh, he likes dog videos. We wanna keep him on the app. Let's send him more dog videos. Then they're gonna say, okay, well, he probably wants something a little bit outside of dog. Let's send him cat videos too. Okay, he likes cat videos. Send him dogs and cats. Then they're gonna say, okay, well, maybe send him a pig video too. Does he like little baby pigs? Oh, he doesn't like the little baby pigs. Keep sending him dogs and cats. Right? Does that make sense to everybody? Like their number one goal is to keep you on the app. So they want to send you that content that's relevant to you. And they're going to test, they're going to see if they can widen your horizons, but they're going to focus on just sending you relevant content. So that's great for the business. Like I said, because we don't have to think of who's seeing this content. If you're a small business, it's going to be sent out to small business people. If you're in fashion, it's going to send it out to the fashion people for you. It is similar to a paid and targeted advertisement, but it's not as exact. You can't say people in the Denver metropolitan area who are 29 years old interested in fashion. It's not that, it's not that, targeted, right? But it is, okay, interest-based. Oh, these people are interested in this. Okay, we'll send them this type of content. Does that make sense to everybody? If there's any questions about that. Cool. So For You page, very, very important. 99% of your views are going to be coming from the For You page, not from your Friends tab and not from the Following tab either. Okay, it's gonna come from this For You page. Next button down here is our Create button. This is the most important button because this is how you make a video. And there's a lot of things we could talk about making TikTok videos. In my first presentation next week, I'm gonna be helping everybody create their first TikTok. That's actually what we're gonna do. It seems very advanced, but it's actually very simple. And to get to the question of how do you actually convert people, right? That's a big question, okay? Well, this is how you do it. Your hook, and Danny's talked a lot about hooks. Hooks are very important. A hook is what you say at the beginning of your video to get people to buy into watching that video. So your hook, what you say at the beginning, sells your video. Your video sells your profile. Your profile sells your website, and your website sells your product. So TikTok isn't your entire business. It has one very specific function, I believe, in your business, and it's to drive traffic to a landing page. And we're gonna talk about that here. So here's my link, and I link to something called a stand store. And I'll show you, it's very similar to a link tree. But I want you to think about what type of link would you have in your bio? Where would you be sending that customer at the very beginning of that journey? Would you be sending them to a landing page, to a link tree, to a digital business card? Are you gonna give them a freebie? Are you gonna put them into a sales funnel or your Facebook group? All these things are good. Here's just what I do. Okay, here's what it's a stand store or a link tree. At the top, I have my connect links, and I have multiple links to do email captures. Because I say that TikTok is really good at getting people's information. It's not very good at keeping their information. And so I wanna, as soon as possible, capture their email address so I can set up email marketing or have them join my Facebook group. Because guess what? If they join my Facebook group, well, they're following me on TikTok. They join my Facebook group, I get their email address. I can also send them a direct message on Messenger. They're also gonna see my content through my Facebook group. And I might even direct them to another link to like go to my YouTube channel. You know, so I just had them on TikTok. Well, now I got their email, I got their Facebook Messenger, they're seeing me on their Facebook wall, and maybe we'll connect on another place too. So you wanna be what you call omnipresent, right? Doesn't matter if they're on LinkedIn, if they're on YouTube, if they're on, you know, Instagram or Twitter, you know, you gotta be everywhere for people so they don't forget. I always kind of give the example, I like the UFC fighting. You guys know about the MMA, right? It's my favorite thing. I love UFC fighting. I watch it every weekend. I will forget that the fights are on. And I look forward to it all week. And then Saturday comes and I'm like, oh crap, I've missed half of them. That's $1 billion company. It's just little old me. You don't think people are gonna forget about you? They're not even remembering the sports ball, you know, the sports game on the weekend. Yeah, they're definitely gonna forget about you. So you gotta be everywhere. TikTok is one way to kind of get them into your pipeline in a very good way. Okay, we're almost done here. And then I'm happy to take a bunch of questions. And then this is ideally what you wanna do. We talk about email capture, right? How do you get them to your opt-in page, to your website, to your Facebook? How do you get people there? Well, TikTok is I think the best traffic source for it. You lead them to the opt-in page, you exchange a freebie, you know, everybody wants something for free. In exchange for that freebie, you capture their information, you set up email marketing, and you do email marketing until they buy, right? So yeah, that's kind of a general overview. I think we have about 10 minutes for questions here, right, Mark? But happy to take as many questions as you guys have.
Before you guys ask the questions, I want to make sure that we're clear on what's going on here. This platform is reflective of everything that we talk about in the tech corner. This is a mini subset funnel that you need video for.
Yes.
Who is afraid of video? Raise your hand if you don't like to be on video, right?
Guess what? You're on it right now.
Yeah, well, this is a little different, right? Talking to people on video is different than being on just the camera. So
That's right.
The first thing that we have to talk about, I think, before you guys ask any questions about this is realize what's going on here. This is one channel that in Greg's room on YouTube, he's been talking about making videos for the last 9 months.
Yeah.
If you make your videos on a platform, the video is the video. Omni-channel marketing is getting on different platforms with your content, or the thing that we call it is the asset. That's a piece of collateral that you can use on multiple platforms. Chris is showing you how to use TikTok with that video asset. Danny is showing you how to use that that video asset on Instagram. Greg is showing you how to use that video asset on YouTube. We focus on this asset because it's the most powerful piece of collateral you can develop for your business. It says a lot. So knowing what the content is and writing the words is one thing. Creating the video where you say the words and you act the words is another. That's why this platform is important to understand how it works. Are you going to get on TikTok? Don't know. If you do, tell me how it works for you. The concept of it, though, is sound. When you're building funnels in any of these social media platforms, you get a disproportionate amount of attention when you get on these platforms. Does that make sense? Just want to bring it full circle for you guys. Rafi, go ahead, and then Alex, go ahead and take back over.
One final point is TikTok, like we just showed, most downloaded app in the entire world, most popular app. How many people are using TikTok actively in this room? Probably none, right? 1, 2, okay? 99% of businesses don't use it. It's the most downloaded app in the entire world. I help people, they're the only one in their category who did it or who are doing it. So imagine being on YouTube in the first 3 years or making a Facebook group in the first 3 years. You would have benefited for the next decade. You would probably be rich right now if you started a YouTube channel in the first 3 years of YouTube. But a lot of businesses didn't have the foresight or understand the trends. So the big businesses are all on TikTok. Pepsi, Microsoft, all the celebrities, right? It's really the small and medium business who isn't on TikTok because they don't understand the facts that I just gave there. And so they're lagging behind because they just don't, they still think it's for children, which it was. It totally was, just like Facebook was for high schoolers and college kids when it first started. But it already has undergone this age demographic change. Over 75% are over the age of 20 and 50 and up is the fastest growing demographic. So I just want to include that there's a huge kind of first movers advantage here on TikTok for the companies that do take advantage of it now while competition is still very low. So yeah, go ahead.
Rafi?
Thank you.
So I'm 100% all in, Alex. We've known each other for a couple of months. I'm all in on TikTok. I'm also all in on Instagram with Danny, and I'm also all in on YouTube with Greg. That all being said, I didn't hear an answer in terms of conversions. So yes, it is first to market. We're getting on TikTok. It's awesome. But right now, I don't know the makeup of this group, if we're B2B, B2C, promoting ourselves to a younger audience, to an older audience. What has been your experience in terms of conversion?
It's a great question. It's to be honest, it's product specific because I don't know if your product is even in demand. I mean, if you're selling moon rocks, you're probably not going to sell any. Now we have other people who sell products in their first 2 weeks on TikTok. We have a lady who sells a real estate trust. It's $18,000. She sold an $18,000 product through TikTok in 2 weeks and has literally sold dozens. Has sold over $100,000 in products in about 3 months through TikTok. Her product's in high demand. Now, if you sell something that isn't in high demand, your conversion could be 0. So it's just, you have to understand your market and understand, okay, is this actually in demand? But I don't know that. That's you and your market.
So just to follow up, are there any statistics or analytics on the top 3 industries, whether it's real estate, healthcare, manufacturing, that you can share with us?
So if you look at some of the statistics around conversion on TikTok as opposed to other platforms, people buy through TikTok at about a rate of, I believe it's 1.3 times higher than other social media platforms. 1/3 of people have bought something off of TikTok. So, I would say that go ahead, Mark.
I was going to ask for a little drill down on this, Rafi. So I did a Google search for conversions on TikTok, and conversion is, depending on what you're trying to figure out, there's a click-through rate concept and, your product to product purchase is going to be a little different. I think the answer to this question is a little more difficult than saying this is the standard concept of somebody buying something off of TikTok, because the TikTok platform isn't going to realize revenue for you on the click-through rate. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I didn't want to dominate the conversation. It just seems to me like because of video, like real estate might do really well, and other types of industries might do really well. So once again, I don't want to dominate the conversation.
Rafi, here's how you, wait, hold on. Let me help here. Here's how you measure it, right? You measure how many people convert to your landing page or to your workshop or to whatever it is that you are sending them to. And then you measure the success rate of the conversions from that landing page. There's no way to measure the success rate directly from TikTok to customer because of just the nature of the way that these platforms work. So like for right now, what I'm doing, like my entire strategy is based on getting people from Instagram into a workshop, right? And then I can measure how many people from that workshop then convert into a client. So like and Alex really hit on this, like there has to be something in between TikTok and client as far as like, you know, you're taking them on the next step in the past. So whether that's a free lead magnet or whether that's a workshop or whether that is a book or even a low cost product that you can do, it's harder to move somebody directly from these platforms into high ticket.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of nurturing in between.
Yeah. That's a great point. Thank you so much, Danny. That was such a great point. Yeah, TikTok isn't your entire kind of sales process. It's really just the top. It's just sales, prospecting, lead flow, traffic to a landing page. And then, you know, people's conversion rate is going to partially be upon their sales process. Like Danny said, what are you leading them to and how is that customer journey happening? But how do you get them into that customer journey? You need a traffic source. And traffic source, you know, a great one is TikTok.
Which is the same thing that LinkedIn facilitates, the same thing that YouTube facilitates, just in a different way with a different audience. And what I think Alex hit on really well again is it's a quick hit video that piques interest quickly with the hook. And then you get eyeballs on it, 1 million people down to your 1% concept. That measurable is going to take place in your accounting software when you have revenue realized from someone that's sourced from a TikTok marketing channel. Right? We talk about this in every room that we're in. Even Google's the same way. You can't really, unless you have a convenience item that they can buy right now and send it straight from the warehouse, it's difficult to get that conversion rate from the perspective I think that you're asking from. Is that, it's a bad answer, but it's the good answer that we have. Does that make sense, Rafi?
No, it's an excellent conversation. I think the combination of what I'm bringing to the table, you, Mark, Danny, and Alex, it really is the omni marketing circle that really brings it out. Hey, Danny, I'll just say one more thing and then please move on because I see Neil's hand is raised for a long time. That I'm disagreeing that you can tell. You can tell who's coming in from that funnel. Mark hit on this before. So you are tracking how many people are coming from Instagram, how many people are coming from TikTok, and then to that, you know, pre-buying thing. So I'm not saying you cannot track. You can absolutely track where people are coming.
You just have to build that out. Like this is a top of funnel thing. Send them to their own landing page, like Greg's page, you know, TT, right, or something.
Agreed, Greg.
I have a question about the SEO, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the kind of the fact that I'm trying to put this together. So 95% of people spend 95% on the For You page. That is curated for them based upon their interest and what they like and watch. What are the other ways to do SEO on TikTok?
Well, there is through the search, right? So the majority of time is spent on the For You page, but let's say someone's like, okay, well, I want to go to a restaurant here in Hawaii, right? Well, they're spending all their time on TikTok. Nobody's really spending, you know, Google is a gateway. It's not really a destination necessarily, right? And so people are spending their time on TikTok. So they say, okay, well, I'm not going to go to Google. I'll just search it on TikTok, which I'm already on. So in the occurrence that somebody does search for something, they're going to go to TikTok. Or if they're looking up short videos, like short tutorials, right? They might go to TikTok, how to, cooking videos are very popular because you go to a YouTube video. I love YouTube. You go to a YouTube video, you open it up and it's, hey, welcome, smash that like button. It's like takes them 5 minutes for them to even get into the content, right? TikTok, it's like, you got to keep it short because the retention time is so important. And so people are getting, the information much quicker.
Excellent. So is that like technically done through like those hashtags?
Yeah, it's done through hashtags and through the written description of the video. So you can do hashtags and then you can also do a written description as well. And I have a tool that actually allows me to, this is a software that was given to me by a software developer, but I can actually see what, nobody else has this, what people are searching for in real time on TikTok, the SEO on TikTok.
That's
so, yeah, it's a really cool tool. I have the beta and they're developing it for kind of outside, but yeah, I mean, just in that, weight loss. I was working with a client yesterday and saying, okay, well, weight loss, should you be including this in your SEO? Well, it's been searched 500 to over 1 million times in the past month. And it's interesting because you look at something like natural, here's an example. You look at something like natural health, and that had about 25,000 views, as opposed to holistic health, which is really a synonym, but it had millions of views per month.
Well, this is
so understanding, yeah.
And it's cross-platform. Like always, we would have an idea of our market. We would have keywords. We would do them in tags or hashtags or something. And we would write a keyword-rich description that would be picked up by the platform or the algorithm. More importantly, written for those people for that moment of search. So yeah.
And TikTok is taking your voice. They have voice recognition, right? That's very easy. So they're taking what you're saying. If you add captions, they're taking the captions. They're taking text on the screen into consideration. There's all these data points that they bring in to target that video correctly.
And perfect. I mean, YouTube's doing the same thing and they have for years. I mean, it's just, what a great way to harvest it. And so even by just saying the right words that match the tags, that match the description, it just cements it in the platform and the ability to get found for that particular person of interest, like our target market. We're saying the things they're looking for.
All right, so Neil, go ahead.
Question, thanks. So I'm part of corporate, right? So business to business type services. As far as my link, would it be more successful to just put a calendar link in there, or should I do like a website or something as far as, getting people to actually engage or meet or reach out?
So a calendar link as in like schedule a meeting with me?
Yeah.
I mean, I would try to get their email address because a lot of people are going to be hesitant to, TikTok is social media is a very passive thing. Yeah. Unless people are like ravenous to buy, they're probably not going to want to set up a Zoom meeting. We're all Zoom heads here. We like Zoom. A lot of people aren't really excited to get on a Zoom call, right? Yeah. Okay. Or a phone call even. So getting their email or even really better is their cell phone number, but people are very hesitant to give that out. So I would say send them to a landing page and capture their email. You're going to have a much higher, capture rate as opposed to a calendar link.
Yes, but how can he host a landing page? I mean, you're talking about hosting fees and everything else just to have the landing page, right? Because he has a corporate website. He works for an actual corporation. So it would probably be better to send them to like his LinkedIn so that they could go and find out more about him, who he works for, see what he does, that kind of thing. Because to pay money to host a landing page would be, I don't know if that would be worth it. How would you get around that?
You don't need to pay money to capture email addresses. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Hang on a minute. This is a universal concept. We got to stop this because we got to get the takeaways. But let's be clear here, Neil. You're asking the question that everybody asks, right? The answer to what you asked is, when you go on a first date, don't start taking off your shirt at the table. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're going too far too fast. right? Slow down for a second and realize how you would want somebody to act on you. If you watched a video on TikTok for the most enticing thing ever, are you going to be like, oh, I really want to meet this person for an hour? You know you're going to get pitch slapped. You know it. You know that's what's going to happen when it comes next, right? So the concept of, getting through what's your favorite food, oh, what do you do on the weekends, having the conversation and letting them learn about what it is that you're doing doesn't necessarily need to be a corporate site, because it's your interpretation of what you do. So if you've got a place where they can go, for instance, like Tech Corner, if Alex puts up a video about a workshop that he hosts on Thursdays at 11, join us if you want more information about this. There's other people in the room. Don't worry, I'm not going to take my clothes off there. That's a safer play than let's go get married. Wait, I just met you 10 minutes ago. Like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to be clever about the way you do it. Think about going to a trade show. When you meet somebody and you look at their name tag, you're going to ask them what they do and you're going to want more information. They're going to have to over-qualify themselves to even get a meeting with you at a trade show or a networking event or something. So consider that course of action when you're impacting that audience from this marketing perspective. You're not in a sales workflow yet. You're just in presenting the benefit of what you do until they have enough of it to inquire with you. That's what Alex was talking about when he says, send them to a landing page or a form where they can get more information, a one-pager, the collateral, another video, something like that, until they get warmed up enough to engage with you in the right place. Does that make sense?